Peace, family. Welcome back. Another episode, Underground Railroad. I got a special guest tonight, man. Special guest tonight. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people, man? It's your first time here, my brother. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Peace and blessings to all my kings and queens. My name is Abelardo Guerrero, but they call me Mr. G.
Mr. G. The name sounds familiar depending on if you're into the health movement or not. They may immediately know you're associated with Dr. Sebi.
Yes, sir.
For those who don't, you have a book that's about to be released.
Yes, sir. July 19th.
yes, indeed. And what's special about this book is that you actually were around Dr. Sebi extensively in the last days of his life.
Yes.
So people got a lot of questions about the last. That's pretty much, people really want to know about the last days of his life, his death, how it happened. There's so many conspiracy theories, if we want to call them, floating around. So this book is going to be kind of important. And he mentioned you a lot. So I got some questions for you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
But before I get into them, I would love for you to explain, how did this happen? How did you get involved with Dr. Sebi in the last days of his life, the last years? I don't know. You could explain it, but explain to me that whole time period, my brother.
Actually, my sister was diagnosed with lupus. So I started going online looking for alternative methods of healing, being that the Western medicine said that she couldn't be saved and that lupus was, uncurable. So I looked at a Dick Gregory video. Dick Gregory mentioned Dr. Sebi. And you know how when you mention somebody and then it got suggested videos on the side? I saw Dr. Sebi on the side.
Right.
Clicked on that video, and I was like, this man said I can cure AIDS, lupus, sickle cell, herpes. I just rewind. Lupus. I kept hearing lupus. I said, I got to meet this man. So I head to Honduras, and it was so ironic because I'm trying to get inside Usha. Once I find Usha, I'm trying to get inside Usha, but I couldn't get inside because you need to know somebody to get in there. So,
but you just left the country based on a YouTube video?
Yes, sir. Actually, I live in Honduras.
You lived
as well.
Okay.
My mom and my dad are from Honduras. I have a home in Honduras. So Honduras is just like
it was easy.
Harlem to me.
Right.
So I get there. So I've been driving by Usha all my life. Well, not all my life. I've been driving through Usha for the last couple of years, not knowing what was happening in there. So I'm trying to get inside. I can't get inside. So one day I just prayed to my ancestors. I'm like, look, if this man is meant for me to help, or for him to help my sister, I need to get in there. I woke up in the morning. I got a inbox from a young lady. She said, hello, Mr. G. We started talking for a little while, and then she told me, if you're ever in Honduras, I want you to take pictures of my family business. So I'm like, what's your family business? And she said, Usha Village. Instead of counting my blessings, I got mad. I'm like, yo, who fucking with me? Because everybody know I'm trying to get inside Usha. Right. So I'm thinking it's one of my boys got one of their girls to, write me and mess with me. Right. And then I said, you know Dr. Sebi? And she said, that's my daddy. I said, I've been trying to get inside Usha. And she said, oh, come right now. And I said, no, she said, come tomorrow. I said, no, I'm here in Honduras. I said, I'm on my way. So I drive to Usha. When I get there, the same security there with their guns. Yeah. Shout out to Junior, that's my boy now. They over there talking about, we already told you can't get in. I said, I'm here to see Sama. And then they hit her up. She said, oh, yeah, Mr. G, let him in. And that's how I got inside of Usha. And my journey with Dr. Sebi began. He wasn't there that day. So I told Sama, she said, you can take pictures of whatever you want. My daddy's coming on Saturday. So I said, okay. So I took pictures of the thermal waters, the huts, the mountains. I took pictures of everything I saw in Usha. I left, came back on a Friday. I gave Samara pictures. So she gave them to her father on Saturday, I believe. And I saw him that Sunday. So when I meet Dr. Sebi, I walk inside his house. There's a glass mansion. You can see right through it from outside. So from the time I'm walking up the steps, I'm looking at him in the kitchen. So I'm like, damn, this man tall as hell. So he didn't say anything to me. I followed him upstairs. When we get upstairs, he got the pictures. He had the pictures on his bed that I printed out. So he's looking at them. He said, you took these pictures? And I was like, yes, sir. He looked at them a little more. He said, you a bad motherfucker. So I'm like, oh man, this man is cursing. So that shocked me because I was expecting him to talk like Gandhi or be holier than thou. So he said, you a bad motherfucker. Man, you bad. He said, okay, nigga, what you want? And I'm like...
Straight like that?
Straight like... And
wow.
Right? That threw me off because, like I said, I'm expecting him to be a certain way.
Proper.
Politically
correct.
Nam-myoho-renge.
Namaste. Namaste.
So, he was like, what you want? And I was like, well, my sister is dying of lupus. I would like for you to help me. And I was like... And he was like, so you're not sick? I was like, no, sir. Last time I checked, I was fine. He was like, let me ask you something. Are you a Sagittarius? I'm like, yeah, I am. I was born December 19th. He said, I'm a Sagittarius. He said, is your mother a Pisces? And I was like, she was born March 15th. He said, she's a Pisces. My mother's a Pisces. Then he told me, I worked at Martin Luther King Hospital, one of my first jobs as a steam chemist. What you have to do with Martin Luther King? I said, I graduated from Martin Luther King High School. Then he told me, one of my sons' name is Sessa. That means a lot to me. What does Sessa mean to you? I said, my mother's name is Lucretia, but we call her Sessa. And then he said, I'm asking you one more thing. He said, my name is Alfredo. It starts with an A and ends with an O. What's your name? Don't tell me that Mr. G shit. I said, my name is Avalado. He said, does that start with an A and end with an O? I said, yes, it does, sir. He said, sit down, motherfucker. I've been waiting for you for 15 years. My mama Hay told me you was coming.
His who?
His mama Hay. His grandmother. His grandmother or his, I believe his grandmother, yes. So she said, my mama Hay told me you was coming. So at this point, I'm sitting there like, okay, what does this mean? He said, I want to do lectures. I haven't done a lecture in over 10 years. I want to go to Philadelphia. I want to go to Brooklyn. I want to go to New Orleans. And I was like, sir, I'm not a promoter. I'm a photographer. I don't do events. He said, you're going to do it. I need you to do it. That's how my whole journey with him started.
I mean, after saying something like that, there's so many coincidences, synchronicities within that story that a person would say, yo, that's fake or that's a conspiracy theory. Like, yo, that's a deep story, my brother. The fact your name, your astrological sign, your parents' astrological sign, the fact that somebody called you while you were out there, the fact that you already had land out there. So many things, bro. Like,
and I thank God, he used to always call me and say, Mr. G, bring your video camera. I feel like talking shit. So everything I told you, I can show you on video coming from his mouth.
And what year was this you met him?
2014, October 5th.
What day did he pass?
August 6th, 2016.
So 2 years of just straight, you was just vibing with Dr. Sebi.
Yes, for everybody who think that I'm related to Dr. Sebi, no, my dad's name was Avalado Guerrero Sr. I'm Avalado Guerrero Jr. I met Dr. Sebi October 5th, 2014. He's a good friend. Father figure, but not my father.
What did you get being around Dr. Sebi for these 2 years, 2014 to 2016?
Actually, I was around him for about a year and 4 months or a year and 5 months. Yes, not the entire 2 years.
Right.
Yes.
What did you gain most from this brother besides the fact that, you know, he was this incredible healer? Like, what could you tell us about this brother? Because he's mysterious. He's intriguing. There's so many adjectives to describe this brother. What did you get from being around him during that time period?
What I learned from him is search for whatever I want within me. Don't look for it in nobody else.
Right.
This brother he did not, all of the Dr. Sebi, he didn't like all that. Like, we would go to events. He would rather go in through the back and just do what he have to do and then leave through the back. He didn't like all those accolades. He didn't like people praising him. If you talk to him like if he was your brother, he liked that. If you come up to him praising him, all of that, he didn't like that at all. So I learned just to look. I learned a lot of self-value dealing with him.
Indeed. Now, so your name start with an A, your first name end with an O, same as his name. Where did Dr. Sebi come from?
Dr. Sebi that name was given to him by some sisters in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yes. Like I will. That's in my book that's coming out. But it was given to him in Los Angeles by some sisters.
Indeed. Wow. Amazing. So my whole thing about, this whole...
Real quick,
yeah.
and Dr. Sebi means the never-ending traveler. The forever changing traveler. Yes.
Indeed. My whole thing about Dr. Sebi, what intrigues me a lot about the brother is that the things that I've heard the brother do is miraculous. It's like, wow, like you did that, you cured somebody this, you cured somebody that, you cured somebody, like the stories I heard is just like amazing. My thing is that we live in an age, we're in 2019, where we have more information, way more information than he had in the 1980s or 70s. So I'm wondering why he was able to do what he did, but he had assistants, he had wives, he had so many people around him, but it seems like nobody's able to duplicate Dr. Sebi. It's almost like there was magic within him besides the herbs that was able to heal the people. So why do you think that this man stands out even in 2019 and we don't hear about people in the same vein as we hear about Dr. Sebi today? What was he able to tap into that all the healers today, even they're not able to tap into?
Dr. Sebi is not a barometer where you can calibrate him on, because all the other healers that I know of, they studied in school. He never went to school. So he was connected to the earth.
Right.
So that's one of the main reasons when he beat the court case, he told me, I knew I was going to win, because they did not have a barometer to calibrate me on. How did they know what was in my mind? Because you can't study because it's not another me.
Oh, man.
So he prided himself on that it was only one of him.
You ever argue with somebody who is intellectual? You could almost guess what they're going to say next, because you know what an intellectual is going to say next.
Of course.
But if a person come from a Western school system, they'll say something to throw you completely off, and you'll be like, it's like a glitch in the matrix.
You don't have the template.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was, oh wow, that's deep, brother. Wow.
That's one of the main things he did, and how I feel he stood out, because he wasn't afraid to say, I don't know, when he didn't know. He'll find out. I never seen him try to talk his way out of something he was lost in. And he's an ambassador of I don't know. He used to always tell me, I'm the ambassador, I don't know. If I don't know, I just don't know. Even if I know, I don't have to tell you. He said, we get caught up talking so much and we feel we have to explain everything. He said, sometimes just let people talk and you know where they're coming from. So I never found anyone that I can compare to him. So I think that's why he stands out.
It's very important. I think it's a lot of people consider it embarrassing to say, I don't know. If you're an expert at something, you almost, so wow, that's very humble of the brother to say I don't know at certain things, and to be considered, wow, that's deep. Wow. So he made this statement, there isn't a black leader in America who is interested in the health of the black race. Do you consider that is that like paranoia on his behalf, or do you think, or is this something we suffer from in black America where we consider each other competition, so we can help another brother rise if we consider him to be some type of competition to us?
Dr. Sebi he did say the leaders, but it was not just the leaders here in America, leaders in Africa. Nelson Mandela kicked them out of Africa. Is AIDS all over the place. He brought the cure to Nelson Mandela, and they kicked them out of Africa. He told Michael Jackson, I have the cure to Africa. I'm the cure to AIDS. Michael took him to Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor told him, if you got the cure, why don't you give it to the people? And he was like, you donate millions towards such and such. Why are you asking me to give it away for free?
I heard him say that. Right.
Why you want me to give it away for free? And as far as the leaders, it's been documented how he's been escorted from. They told him to stop speaking at some certain places because they didn't want to spread the news. Why? I don't know. Paranoia, he was not paranoid. Doc wasn't scared of anything. He told you the truth, and that was it. So anything he said, it was not out of paranoia. It was because he factual information.
What's up with the whole? I talked about conspiracy theories early. The story about Magic Johnson being cured from AIDS from Dr. Sebi. What you know about? Can you tell us about that?
You know what? So when you guys read the book, I'll talk about that. Definitely, I had that was one of my first questions because me coming up in basketball, like I definitely wanted to. But he gave me a story about that, and I'll definitely disclose that in the book.
How does somebody like when you say Michael Jackson, like after Jesus Christ, this is the most famous person in human history. How does Michael Jackson find out about Dr. Sebi and then communicates with him and messes with him? Like deals with him. How does Michael Jackson find out about Dr. Sebi?
Is that in this world, we forget that famous people and rich people, they have people that work for them.
Right.
Maids.
Yes.
Butlers, janitors. So one of his maids told his brother, I forgot her name, but she had lupus and her son had a tumor. So Randy Jackson, Michael Jackson's brother, he went to Dr. Sebi. He went to Dr. Sebi's house and was throwing rocks at his window. And he was like, who the hell is throwing rocks at my window? He looked out the window, is Randy Jackson. So Randy like, my brother want to meet you. My brother want to talk to you. And he's like, which brother? And he said, Michael. And Dr. Sebi was like, okay. So he took him to Michael. Randy Jackson took him to Michael Jackson. And he stood with Michael Jackson 6 months.
6 months?
6 months. Traveled to Hawaii, traveled out.
Do you know what year period this was?
No, I can get the information for you though. He's 6 months, and you know who would know? He has a nephew, not a nephew, a grandson, Isaiah from Dietary Solutions. Like they know like those details. Yes, but definitely. So he got in contact through with Michael through Randy Jackson, went to look for him.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, sir.
So there's a lot of confusion right now. When the name Dr. Sebi comes up, I mean, you have offices in several places using the name. I seen an interview with Sway. I seen an interview on Hot 97, and you see different women doing the interview. Different women saying their ex-wife or ex-associate. We live in a culture where when somebody says they're the ex-wife, we're used to one woman saying they're the ex-wife. In Dr. Sebi's situation, I guess it's a little different. So it's a little confusing and multiple people's using his name and multiple women is coming forward. So the people want to know, I mean, who do we listen to? Like this is kind of, confusing to a lot of people. Who do we listen to about Dr. Sebi?
Well, you got to understand Dr. Sebi was 82 when he passed away. He had different chapters in his life. He had his first wife, Melba, and she has his kids when he was in the Nation of Islam with Malcolm X and them. That's why his kids, Abdul, Jamala, all those from his first wife. So it all depends on, me, I'm friends with everybody. So it's kind of, I'm like in the middle. Like if I need something from Abdul and I'm in LA, like they would send me something. Sesai and Ma'a, those were the first ones I met. And they here in Brooklyn with me. So I get most of my herbs and I get everything from them. Then he has, but in Honduras, Usha Village, his daughter, Sama, she's the one who actually gave me permission to write my book. Okay. You get it? So that's like home base. And so it all depends on how you want to look at it, because I'm cool with all 4 of them that I know.
Indeed. When you You know, after the passing of Nipsey Hussle, that's what kind of generated this new interest in Dr. Sebi. I mean, his name has always been floating around. He's always connected to celebrities. He's always connected to healing. But Nipsey Hussle was the most recent example of somebody who sparked interest in Dr. Sebi. So everybody Google Dr. Sebi's name, as you could assume, as we all, that's what we do. When we want to know something, we Google it.
Yes.
So when you Google Dr. Sebi, one of the first things that come up is Wikipedia, whether we want to believe it or not. Let me just read to you what's on Wikipedia about Dr. Sebi. Alfredo Darrington Bowman, November 26, 1933 to August 6, 2016, better known as Dr. Sebi, was a Honduran herbalist and self-proclaimed healer. Bowman claimed to cure all disease with herbs and a unique vegan diet based on various pseudoscience claims. His diet was based on the discredited alkaline diet. His beliefs on the origin of disease denied germ theory and taught that HIV is not the cause of AIDS, and factored in Falk's Afrocentric claims about the unique genetic characteristics of Africans and its diaspora. What would you say to all of that?
I would say the same thing that Dr. Sebi said when he beat the case in court. Like, how can they measure him? He explains, he simplifies how he cures AIDS. Like, you know the secret behind fasting, right?
Yeah, indeed.
What you think about it? Like, in healing, how does that affect?
I mean, the Bible talks about fasting. Fasting has been around forever. Like, that's like very important. We learned about that at a very young age to fast. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, because what he does is with fasting, the body, if you don't have no fat to eat, your immune system is going to eat whatever's foreign to it.
Yeah.
So, the Wikipedia, I would like, if it would have been nice if they would have had somebody to interview him or somebody in his family to break down their explanation instead of just putting what they thought, because that's not accurate.
Indeed. Wow. So, what else can you tell us about the book that you're about to release? What else can you tell us about that?
The book is going to basically, Dr. Sebi, we did 7 lectures. I'm going to talk about a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that we did, a lot of the people that we met in these cities, a lot of the different relationships he had with people in these different cities, and stuff. They're going to see Dr. Sebi for the human in him instead of the Jesus that everybody's trying to put on the they're going to see how human he was and how funny he was, and how down to earth he was.
Indeed. So what do you think made him human? Like, because we have this Messiah complex where we worship people like Dr. Sebi, Nipsey, or whoever passed away and they did something great. What made him human to you? What did you see in him that,
His humbleness. Humbleness. He hated to be worshipped, and I would call him Doc Sebi, but he loved when you call him his brother. Like when anybody come in, like, oh, you the man, he said, I'm just your brother. Please just call me your brother. And he was comfortable with that. So he wouldn't let you worship him. Like, if you seen him more than 3 times, if you spoke to him a certain way the 4th time, it's never going to be a 5th time. Because it's like, if I'm telling you, call me your brother, or I'm letting you know how I want you to address me, and you continue to disregard what I'm saying and want to worship me, he wasn't confrontational. He would just know not to be around you no more.
Do you get offended? A lot of people got offended when DJ Vlad, he was like, he basically didn't believe, I guess, Dr. Sebi cured AIDS. He's like, I need more evidence. I need proof. And when people hear about that, people will call that such an outrageous claim that when they hear that, they're like, man, get the F out of here. This dude is crazy, man. This dude didn't cure AIDS. Do you get offended by that? You being around him, does it shock you? Does it disappoint you in the world, in the think of humanity? How do you feel when you hear people totally disregard Dr. Sebi's claims, being around him and knowing your sister had lupus?
This is what I got to say to everybody who say that they want proof and there's no proof. He beat the New York Supreme Court. They asked him to bring one person for everybody he cured. He brought 77 people.
It's a lot of people.
There's public records. They just have to go. They just have to go look. The names are there.
Yes.
And it wasn't Dr. Sebi and his family. They not doctors. They can't tell you have AIDS. These people are coming in with their documents from their doctors.
Saying they have
I
AIDS.
have AIDS. I don't have AIDS.
And then they don't have AIDS.
From their doctors.
From their doctors.
From their doctors.
Not from Usha.
Not from Usha, not from anyone in Dr. Sebi's family. These people are not chemists. They can't test you for AIDS. They could just show you whatever paper you showed them. Now, one person could say, Dr. Sebi told me I didn't have AIDS. They always say, I told Dr. Sebi I didn't have AIDS anymore. And they have court records. You just have to go check out these papers.
The fact that he had a lot of children with multiple wives, do you think that hurt him in the long run? Because different people are claiming different things at this time of his death. What do you think? Because, I mean, I remember watching a Rock Newman interview.
Yes.
And Rock Newman was like, you're 80-something years old and you have a child on the way. And Dr. Sebi was like, yes, he was happy about it. Because when he was 30-something, he was impotent.
Yes.
So,
and what was funny about, well, not funny, but the person who healed him, his name started with an A and ended with an O too.
Wow.
His name was Alfredo Cortez.
Mexican, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
He was 90 years old. He told Dr. Sebi, don't eat for 90 days. And 94 days, everything that Dr. Sebi went to him with, he didn't have it anymore.
All right. So Dr. Sebi went to him with this problem. He said, don't eat for 90 days. He didn't eat for 3 months. And by the time he came back, all those problems was gone.
Impotency, obesity, it was 2 or 3 others, all gone.
Do you know what he was taking? Like, with just water? Like, was it juice? Like,
I don't know. I know when he fasted, when he was with us, he fasted for 68 days. He didn't drink nothing but he didn't do nothing but drink water and eat sea moss. I mean, drink sea moss, not eat it, just drink. He mixed up some sea moss because sea moss has, I think, 98 minerals.
Something minerals, yeah.
That's in 102. Yeah. That's all he would do. He did that for almost 3 months.
So just water and sea moss for 3 months.
Yes.
Do you think the fact that Dr. Sebi, regardless of how, I mean, we've heard so many stories about the brother. I mean, Michael Jackson dealing with the brother. Like I said, this is the most famous person since Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
And was begging Sebi not to leave his side.
Wow. Glad you said it like that. The fact that Dr. Sebi, considering all of that, but we have to take into account that he's talking about the unique characteristics of African people. Was that the ultimate turnoff that caused him not to gain that success that any other person doing the impossible that he did would have experienced? Because he should have been the ultimate health practitioner in the world. But he's focusing on unique African characteristics and how our biology is different from others. Was that the thing that caused him to remain unknown?
I believe,
to mainstream? Yeah.
He was in mainstream because, believe it or not, when you go to Usha village in Honduras, I would, out of 100 clients there, was probably 3 or 4 black people.
Out of 100?
A lot of Europeans there.
Out of 100?
I'm telling you. So yeah, I would say, I wouldn't say that that's the reason, but it played a big part. Had he, okay, it goes back to unity. Had he been some white man with blue eyes, blonde hair, telling us such and such and such, it's easier for us to believe that because we so brainwashed here in the United States thinking that the white man is a superior being. So that not him. Our conditioning played a lot. So I wouldn't put it on him. I put it on us. The way we were brought up, because myself, I was born and raised in Bronzeville, Brooklyn. And I see a white man, I automatically used to think he was smarter than me. Right. Because of how I was raised.
Right.
You feel me? So now I know better. So, but it's more people who don't know who know.
some people might consider it racist for him to say that Africans have unique genetic characteristics. Why do you think some people consider it wrong to say that, okay, you're black, you have a different set of genetics than white people? A lot of people will say that's racist, and it turns them off from his teaching. Why is that?
Well, if you look at any Dr. Sebi lecture, he would never say I was better. He said we're different.
Different.
Period. So whoever looked at it as racist, that's coming from dumb.
Right.
He would always say, I'm not better, I'm not smarter, I'm just different. So whoever looked at it as racist, I can't change somebody's thought. That's already in them. Yeah, you know what? I was listening to your show yesterday, and what was my brother's name? LT?
KT, the arch degree.
KT, the arch degree. Oh my God. Let me tell you about a story about how he comes into my life.
Please.
Dr. Sebi, when we was in the coming to the United States, he was looking for a particular. He was looking for Cesar, and he was looking for Philip.
That's red pill. Philip is red pill. Yeah.
You jumped ahead of me. Oh man! So we in New York. I'm asking anybody, do you know Philip? Do you know Philip? Dr. Sebi looking for him. Nobody knew. They said he's in Atlanta. We go to Atlanta. We go to New Orleans. We can't find Philip. So that was one of the things I was like, when Cesar walked in, we were like, okay, he found Cesar, but he was looking for Philip. So I felt bad that I never found Philip. So talking on the phone with Red Pill, he asked me, what's one of the regrets you have with Dr. Sebi? And I was like, I was looking for this guy named Philip. Dr. Sebi was looking for him. So Red Pill got quiet. So I'm like, oh shit, what did I say anything wrong? And he said, Philip. I said, yeah, he got a brother named Paul and another Kimani that's younger than them. And then Red Pill said, I'm Philip. I was like, what? I'm Philip.
Yo, how do these things happen to you?
I don't
in your
know.
life?
It's always always like that.
Yo, bro.
Philip got, and I said, is your mother named Annette Thomas? He said, that's Mama Pill.
Bro, things that oh man.
You can call Red Pill and ask him. That's exactly how it went down. He connected me with Mama Pill. I spoke to her for about 3 hours.
Wow.
He got quiet, so I'm like, damn, why this brother so quiet? And he said, I'm Red Pill. I'm Philip. My brother Blue Pill is Paul. And I said, well, what about Kimani, like a younger? He said, yeah, that's my other brother. And so then I see his other brother, the younger one, on your show.
Yesterday, the other day, yeah.
Killing it. I was like, oh my God, this brother is brilliant. Yeah, man. So that's how, I just wanted to talk about how I connected with them and how that brother, it was a 300. Sorry.
What message do you hope to get out with your book? What message are you, because there's so many lectures on YouTube with Dr. Sebi that people are watching right now because of everything going on right now. With this particular book, all the interviews you have that nobody has ever seen before, you talking to Sebi about things that people don't know about, what message do you want to convey to the world?
I want them to see how human he was.
That's what you keep saying.
I want them to see how human he was because he hated people worshiping him. I want them to see how human he was. Like I always laugh when we was going through the airport and this brother got weed on him, some marijuana. I'm like, Doc, you still got that weed on you? He like, yeah. I said, we not in Honduras, you gotta get rid of that. He's like, nah, I'm good. We get to TSA and they see it and it's in his briefcase as a matter of fact. And the lady tell him, sir, you have marijuana. Is this marijuana? He said, yeah, and it's the good stuff. So I'm like, oh man, we going there. I'm from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn, so you like, oh.
Weed, airport, jail. That's just the.
Yeah. He
said, yeah. And then he leaned over and said, and it's the good stuff. I'm like, oh man, he's playing with this lady. She made her phone call. Somebody else came. He gave them some card. They came back, gave him back his weed and took pictures and he was on his way.
Wow.
So he knew they wasn't going to do nothing to him, but he let me shake like a leaf.
Yeah.
I wanted him to see how funny he was. I wanted him to see how, family oriented. He loved his family. He loved his family. It was a lot of shit that was done to him that he don't like, but the ones that he had love for, he ain't have no gray area. He was dealing with you or he wasn't dealing with you.
Either or.
Either or. It wasn't no gray area in the middle. So everybody that he communicated with in the last days of his life, those are the people that he was cool with. But as far as the message, unity, man, Dr. Sebi was a human being who loved his people. Not saying he don't like the white people, but he loved his people like us.
Indeed. Wow, man. This is just, I can't wait to read this book.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories like that in it.
Yeah. The stories that you told me even off the camera, like I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Like I really can't wait to read this book. And I'm very happy that Nick Cannon brought you on board with this documentary.
Yes. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to his whole team. I appreciate what they're doing. Not just for me, but my family.
Indeed. So your sister's good now?
Yeah, my sister's in Honduras right now.
Your sister's in Honduras?
She's in Honduras right. She lives in North Carolina, but she's in Honduras right now. Yes. And this is another thing that I wanted people to know too. Lupus, or cancer, when they don't tell you that when you do that radiation, that it kills the cells that it go in and kill, but it also kills the good cells. So that radiation could actually hinder you later on in life, even though because my sister, her lupus is gone, but after all that radiation that they gave her, she still has some challenges. So if you don't have to do radiation what you call it, chemotherapy, you guys shouldn't do it. That kills the bad cells, but it also kills the good cells.
So does he still have his property out in Honduras where you can get healed? Is that still out there?
Of course, Usha Village.
Usha's still out there.
If you guys ever want to go to Usha Village, you go to Usha Village HN at Gmail. Send them a email, and they actually.
So who's running that?
His daughter, Sama Bowman.
Sama Bowman.
Yeah, she was actually running it while he was alive, so she's continuing running it now.
She's continuing running it.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. All right, so in this country right now, there's a big vegan movement.
Yes.
And we have shit called the Impossible Burger. We got all types of things now.
They got vegan burgers in White Castle.
Yeah, man, I think Burger King too right
Burger
now.
King too, yeah.
Yeah, the Impossible Burger. Veganism. People feel as though being a vegan makes you soft almost, emotional, girly. You know what I'm saying, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Not to insult women, but as a man, you want that testosterone, that aggressiveness. And
that come with
meat.
oxtail.
When you eat that steak, that meat, the aggression is what rules this world. So what do you think about people that feel as though vegans are some soft pansies?
All right.
And it's not for men.
I would love for them to go arm wrestle with this vegan that's in the jungle. They call him a gorilla. Go see how soft he is.
The gorilla.
He's a vegan. Don't eat nothing but fruits. Go arm wrestle with him and you'll see how strong a vegan can be. Now, about the whole food thing, that's why doctors always say when they bought us, when the Africans came from Africa, they didn't bring their food with them. So when the Africans saw watermelon, they was eating it. They saw something they was familiar, knew they was good for them. So they make us feel funny for eating watermelon.
I was just talking about that with KT.
They make us feel. Dr. Sebi used to eat the rind, the green part.
We need to get back to that.
You know how much iron is in the seeds? How much iron is in the rind of a watermelon? The red part is good, but you can't find nothing big, stronger than watermelon, Viagra, Cialis, all of that don't have nothing on watermelon.
That's one of my favorite foods in the world, bro. And people have such a complex because of all the caricatures and things we see of us grinning and skinning and eating a watermelon like a savage. I can't eat the watermelon. You know what I'm saying?
I love watermelon. Well, you Father Rich now, so I know you know what's up with the watermelon.
Yeah. Father Rich is a different man, man.
Yes,
Yo,
sir.
I'm just so appreciative to do this interview with you, my brother.
Nah, thanks, brother. I really appreciate just being here. I heard so much about you, and your name came up 4 times in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
So when I was on the phone with Red Pill, he told me, I said, yo, you gotta hook me up with that brother because he seems to be the Oprah Winfrey of consciousness right now. This is like a official stage for that. So thank you for having me here, man.
And I think that with all this confusion, and I want to tell my people this, with all the confusion, because there's a lot of confusion with the brother Dr. Sebi. Not to say that it's his fault, but there's so many people popping up all over the place and saying his name and using his name. I think your book is going to bring a lot of clarity, and it's going to clear up a lot of the confusion. So I definitely, and I just love, I think, it's, when you're black, and you know, you got, and I'm not trying to come at somebody, but if this baby mama's beefing with that baby mama, there's a lot of biases that exist. You know what I'm saying? And this story's not being told, and that story's not being told, and I don't hear what my brother been through from my other, you know what I'm saying?
That's one of the things I like about Nick. Because he's neutral ground.
That's what I was about to say.
Neutral ground. Not
just Nick, but that's what I was ending with.
Okay.
You being with Dr. Sebi in his last days, not being a part of that, it's so unbiased.
Yes.
And it's just so pure. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say in the book.
Yes, sir.
Because, not saying there's it's nobody's fault that they're born, you know, that they're whoever they are, but you're just in a place that's so pure.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it. And your spirit lets me know you're pure too.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So I definitely appreciate your story and where you're coming from. And just how you meet people is just extraordinary, bro. You got a spirit within yourself, bro. That's just amazing, man. Like, I need to interview you just on you in the future.
and the whole book idea, I'm just talking with, I don't know if you know Mr. Vegas, who sing I Am Blessed.
Yes.
He's a Jamaican artist. He's a Dr. Sebi advocate. Like, he loved Dr. Sebi, and anything we need help with, Mr. Vegas is just waiting to help us out. So he told me, yo, G, because I know him for a while now. He told me, yo, G, you need to write a book because some of the stuff that you tell me, I could see people being entertained and enlightened. And my man Hakeem from Black and Nobels, like, he's a beast. He's the whole reason why I was able to do the lectures in the United States. Because Dr. Sebi said, I want to go to Philly. And I'm like, I don't know nobody in Philly, and I'm not a promoter. So I called my man Deshaun, and I said, yo, Deshaun, you know anybody in Philly? He said, let me call somebody. He called Hakeem. Hakeem, by the time he answered me back, they had a flyer made already for Philly. They already started selling tickets and everything. So he let me know how easy it was to set up these lectures. And I would always tell Doc would tell me, yo, you the man, the lecture was crowded. And I'm like, nah, it's easy to promote a lecture when you got Michael Jackson. Like, I was calling him Michael Jackson. People wanted to see him. So he didn't realize, going back to how humble he was, he didn't realize how you could do a flyer that seats 2,000 people and just do 3 weeks of promotion. So Hakeem was the one who showed me that can be done. So shout out to my brothers in Black and Nobels.
I think something spectacular I seen Dr. Sebi did personally was drop to his knees. I can't do that right.
I can't do that right now.
I can't do that right now, bro. And I'm in my 30s. Like, bro, how was he able to do that?
That's that CMOS. That's CMOS.
And he's 6 foot something. It's not like he's 5'1" and he's already close to the ground.
I put a video on YouTube that says Dr. Sebi drops to his knees. We did that in Detroit. And we was in the gym. So usually when he do it, he actually braced himself, but this one, he just went straight down. So I'm looking at him like, I'm filming. I'm like, oh man, I hope he got back up like it was night. And I said, okay, he good. That CMOS, he drinks CMOS every day.
Every day?
Every day.
How much water do you think he drank every day?
How much what?
Water.
Probably about a half a gallon.
Okay.
Yeah. because he wasn't a big guy. He wasn't a big guy. Dr. Sebi was 6'2", 6'3", and weighed 120 pounds. And his favorites, what he liked to eat all the time, he would be like, when we was at the Airbnbs, like, gee, hook me up. So he would like spelt bread with some agave like on it and some mashed avocados. He would eat that all day. Loved that.
Wow, man. Any personal stories besides the fancies? Any like just that simple, like when we was at the airport, he would like any personal things you want to tell us about? Dr. Say like that's ill. When we hear the personal stuff, like yo, he had agave with some spelt bread and some this, and he was good. Like any personal things, like you know what I'm saying?
One of the things he did that made me respect him, he would get like about maybe $1,000 US, and we would get in a car in Honduras, and he would go give people like $20, $50, and not let them see it was him. Just put it out the car.
Just have the joy. He just wanted to experience the joy of giving. Where was this at? Where did he do this
in
at?
Honduras, in La Ceiba.
Honduras. Oh,
La Ceiba.
shit, that's dope.
And $20 in Honduras is
like
a lot. 400 lempiras you could do a lot with.
It's a lot.
So he would do that. And he didn't even want people to know.
And not let them know it was him.
It was him.
But he just wanted to see, oh, yo.
So then
that's what I'm talking about. I need to,
so when I drive back through Honduras, through La Ceiba, I have to roll my windows down so they can see it's me. Yeah. I'm not giving out no money. He said, no, he gone. Nah, but he very giving, and he didn't do it for the people. He did it just for him.
Wow, man.
I could sit here and tell you stuff like that all day.
And I love, like, that's super inspiring, brother.
Yeah.
That's super inspiring.
Like, that's what it goes back to, like I said in the beginning, he showed me to validate myself within me.
Within you.
I don't need nobody to tell me.
So, tell me about spirit, in terms of spirituality. Like, we might be impressed about Farrakhan. We like, well, what's his spiritual system? And somebody may say he's part of the Nation of Islam. What did Dr. Sebi practice for him to do? What was he into during that time period in his life?
Dr. Sebi is not from far as I know, he wasn't a spiritual man. He either know or he didn't know. So he did whatever made him feel good. So he wouldn't sit there and talk about any kind of belief or spirits. Like people would talk about around him. But like for me, for instance, he told me his mama Hay told him. Tangible. Like I remember one time we was being interviewed on some TV show in La Ceiba, and they asked me, do I believe in Dr. Sebi? And I was like, no. So they looked at me like I was crazy, like this man is right there. But they didn't know that prior to that, he asked me, Mr. G, you believe in me? I was like, yes, hell yeah, you the man. And he was like, fuck you, motherfucker.
He said that to you?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, of course.
Okay.
And that's fucking light. Doc mouth was,
he said
what?
That.
He said, fuck you, motherfucker. I'm like, damn. I said, yes, I believe in you. He said, do you believe in me or you know who I am? There's a difference between belief, because a lot of people live in belief. So it's room for bullshit. But if you know, you know. So did you know what I did for your sister, or you believe in what I did for your sister? I was like, oh shit. I said, yeah, I know. No, so I don't believe in you. I know who you are. He said, that's my boy. So when he asked me that, I said, no, I don't believe in him. So he just sat back, crossed his leg, because he knew what was coming. But they thought I was about to say, I don't believe in him for the wrong reasons. So I said, I know for a fact what he was able to do for my sister.
When is the book dropping exactly, and how can they get it? July
19th, 2019. You guys could go pre-order.
Pre-order it.
Yeah.
Please.
Dr. Sebi is Dr. Sebi Book 504.com. Dr. Sebi Book 504.com. You can go pre-order now. And the people that's pre-ordering, before it comes out, we actually gonna send them T-shirts and some pictures that no one's seen of Doc before.
Yo. Go order that book right now, family. I've talked to this man on camera and off camera. This man right here is the truth, Mr. G. Thank you, my brother.